My name is Maho. I'm a 30-year-old single woman who lives with her mom at home. My mother is in her 60s and had to live with her father's debt, but she had to quit her part-time job because of her age. And now I have to deal with all of the finances.
Maho, is dinner ready yet?
I just came home. Hang on a second. Ever since my mother quit her job, she wouldn't work anymore because she was going through menopause and wouldn't even help out around the house. If anything, she would hang out around the living to do nothing. She would watch TV, and when she got bored, she'd take a nap and only wake up to eat. The only reason that she was able to do that was because I would give her $2K monthly. How did this happen?
I'm going to live with her. So can you leave since you're just a leech anyway?
The reason I was sitting here was because my brother and his wife suddenly showed up. What? It was my fault for arguing about the fact that he called me a leech. I couldn't argue back against my mom and the two. I ended up just taking a seat. They said some terrible things to me while they took the sofa.
You don't get married and you just eat our food.
Imagine living with your mother at age 30.
You're just useless and leech off your parents.
The only reason I didn't live alone after graduating from tech school was because my father wouldn't let me leave. My mother somehow joined in on trying to chase me out, so I just shut up and listened. The brother couple lived far off and only occasionally swung by to say hello. They came here today when they weren't even off because they wanted to chase me off. How did I become the leech? I kind of figured how that would happen since I knew the couple. They lived far from the city, but their household was in a world of pain for money. My father would frequently have to lend them money while he was still alive. Most wives don't want to live with their mother-in-laws. Why does she want to live here? Then it was made obvious very quickly.
One is 5 and the other is 2 now.
Well, I want to see them.
You can almost see them every day. Only if Miss Maho leaves, though.
They were talking about the best course of action all while eating food that my mother ordered me to prepare. Yes, they have 2 kids.
They're being taken care of right now, but...
Where? They must want the house because if they live here, they won't need to pay for rent and someone will look after the kids for free. My mother seems pleasant, so they must think that about her. Honestly, she's just easily fooled. She's been scammed twice already. My father's loans also shouldn't be her problem, but it was because she had been the guarantor for a friend. After her father died, I ended up having to take care of it and her life. My mother has no idea how much I spend taking care of her and taking care of the house. She doesn't do anything around the house and doesn't work either. I'm sure they don't know about that. So that's why my brother...
The eldest son should look after his mother.
He was bragging about and talking about his grand proposal of looking after his mom. My mom, of course, believed him. Every time he says crap like this, he's got some kind of scheme. When will she learn? I thought that was a nice thing to stick around and help out a mom who does nothing but be a couch potato. I know that I was a child that was just being used for money, but she wasn't the worst, so I wanted to help her. Whatever. If they don't want me here, I guess I'll leave. I'm just eating your food anyway. The 3 of them called me a leech, so let's see how they do without my pay, which is almost 3 times that of my brother's. It was all fast after that. I had found a mansion near my work and left the house. I figured I would treat myself, so I found a nice 1 LDK near the station and blew off some steam. Now it's time for me, the leech and food stealer, to take revenge. That too, please. First, I asked the movers to move all the electronics and furniture that I paid for with my own money before leaving the house. I moved them right in front of their eyes, so of course they freaked out.
Hey, stop, you thief!
What are you talking about, silly? I'm only moving things that I bought with my own money.
Give us back the Roomba!
I told you, I bought that! You always put crap on the floor, so I feel bad for the Roomba. Between the fridge, the microwave, TV, the washing machine, and Dyson and Roomba, there was almost nothing left in the house. The things that were multiples of, I simply had some people buy it and take it away. Oh, did I mention I sold my car that we were both using?
Hey, don't take that!
Give the car and electronics back.
Oh my gosh, I can't give it back, it's mine! I'm moving, so I'm taking it with me. I was only lending it to you. The car was probably the worst part to them. They had apparently already sold their own car since they were going to move over here. The 3 know that it would be impossible to live here without owning a car.
We can't go anywhere.
There's no furniture electronics. What the hell?
I don't know. I'm sure Mommy will take care of you. I usually just use the company car when I need to and take the train to work, so I didn't need my car, but I'm sure it's okay. Honestly, I felt so amazing with how free I was. My mother had cat allergies, so I was now able to invite a new cat into my family. Hey, you're such a cutie. You hungry? I'll go get you some food, okay? I had more expendable income as well and didn't have to pay off my mother's loan, so I could save more. The three of them started asking for help the month after I started living on my own. They actually lasted a while. I figured they would have come back after about a week. However, by the time they contacted me for help, it was already too late for a lot of things. First off, they couldn't pay the loans that my mother had. The three were looking to use my car, so they couldn't get around. Neither the wife or my mom would look after the house, so the house became a mess after two kids made quick work of it. This is the worst part. My brother apparently quit his old job because he was moving. He must have thought that he could live off of Dad's inheritance. He didn't have any inheritance. I don't know what got into him. Oh, these two also said some strange things when my father passed. At the funeral, they of course
Give me the inheritance!
only ever talked about the inheritance. When I explained that he hadn't left behind any money, he actually just left behind loans. They just left quietly. I'm glad that they left without a fuss, but the fact that they stole all the grievance money was pretty much a wrap for me. They had kept their distance from my family for a while after that, but when they came back to the house over the weekend, they expected a rundown house because of loans, but they found a nice house instead. Because they noticed that there was a lot of furniture and new electronics,
They must have had inheritance and not told us.
is what they must have thought. In truth, my mother didn't think about anything, so she basically just showed up and did nothing for the entire funeral. I was the one that took care of everything and arranged everything for the funeral proceedings. Although he only left behind loans, my mother was responsible for them. So good luck, brother. You were the one that said the elders should look after the mom, right? I pretty much ignored the request of them to come home and pay money. My sister-in-law, who was supporting them with a part-time job, also ended up quitting. She had no way to get to work because there were no buses or trains. Honestly, between a high school that accepted the lowest of lows and a guy who wouldn't stop changing careers, or the girl who went to a tech school, got a national certification and found employment at an American company, and kept getting promoted, wouldn't be living the same standard of living. Every time my brother would ask my father for money, I was the one that ended up funding it. I'm sure they don't know that either. My mother had already forgotten that she called me a parasite and food stealer and was begging for help. I didn't listen. I was saving a little bit for my mom after she was going to get old, but I figured after a while, I would use that money as a down payment for a house. You need to have financial independence and savings. I am okay living alone with my cat. I changed my phone and contact information, so I don't know what's going on with them. If there's any regret, it's that I feel bad for the two kids I left behind.
Thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Bye!